A heat wave tests Europe's defenses. Expect more. Want climate news in your inbox? Our email newsletter across Europe in June, from the Czech Republic to Switzerland to Spain, new heat records tested the continent's defenses. Schools were shuttered. It wasn't only monthly records that shattered. On Friday, it is part of an unmistakable trend. The hottest summers in Europe in the last 500 years have all come in the last 17 years. Several of those, it is quite clear one has to treat it as an emergency, said Kay Kornhuber, a climate scientist doing postdoctoral research at the Earth Institute at Columbia University. It is also unsurprising. As rising it is premature to attribute the heat wave to climate change, but this is consistent with climate scenarios which predict more frequent, drawn-out and intense heat events as greenhouse gas concentrations lead to a rise in global temperatures, the World Meteorological Organization said Monday. Worldwide, 2019 is on track to be among the hottest years on record, and Europe is on the front line. Its wealth and social. The number of heat waves in France has doubled in the past 34 years and is expected to double again by 2050, while their intensity is also expected to increase, according to the National Weather Service, de France. This is a war, a battle on two fronts, on the front of causes and effects. We've got so much. In the Gard region of southern France, 60 fires on Friday burned 1,500 acres. In Paris, critically, several nighttime minimum temperature records were also broken. A series of, this was predictable, said Gilles Duflot, former party secretary of France's Green Party, who is now head of Oxfam France. France is not doing. In Germany, speed limits were imposed on parts of the Autobahn because extreme heat can cause roads to buckle. More than 100. In Spain, wildfires have destroyed 10,000 hectares over the last several days in 4 different regions of the country, forcing the evacuation of some villages and closing some roads. In the worst affected, last week, Italy's health ministry put more than a dozen cities including Milan, Rome, Turin, Venice, Bologna, and Naples on red alert as temperatures climbed above 37 degrees Celsius, or 100 Fahrenheit. Florence was still. The Civil Protection Department in Rome handed out water bottles to tourists around heavily visited landmarks. Extreme weather events have always happened, and heat waves would occur even without global warming. But a growing field of the 2018 heat wave across northern Europe, for example, was made 5 times more likely by climate change, according to an assessment by a group of scientists called World Weather Attribution. The year before, the scientists found an 80% probability that it would not have happened without climate change. And, when researchers are currently carrying out a rapid assessment of the current heat wave. It was expected to. Researchers are increasingly citing changes in the polar jet stream, the fast-moving river of high-altitude air currents at the top of the globe, as an additional factor. The meandering of the polar jet stream affects weather across the northern hemisphere. If these meanders, some scientists have linked extreme shifts in the jet stream to global warming, theorizing that the melting of Arctic ice and the decreased temperature differential between the Arctic and lower latitudes has robbed the jet stream of some of its strength, causing it to meander more. According to climate models, hotter temperatures go hand in hand with what Michael E. Mann, a climate scientist at Pennsylvania State University, calls a meandering, slow jet stream that favors stalled extreme weather regimes like the ones we are seeing right now. The jet stream is. The Arctic has been thin at any time since records began in 1900. Reporting was contributed by Kendra Pierre-Louis, Raphael Minder, Adam Nossiter, Jason Horowitz, Megan Specchia, and Henry Fountain. For more news on climate and the environment.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.